Allison Kessler here, tarot card reader, spiritual guide, active hope facilitator. So I just wanted to come on quickly and do a video about time spinning out of control, or us feeling like time is spinning out of control. So it's more like an illusion, but it is very persistent, and it just feels like the world is spinning faster and faster, and that we're literally going to fly off. So yeah, so I wanted to tell you my thoughts on this time issue that we're going up against. Even though, I mean, if you look at it from a certain point of view, time doesn't exist. But anyway, so what I have been told from spiritual mentors and masters is that time has been sped up on purpose to get us through this very trying time that we are in right now. It's a very dark and I don't even know how to describe it, like very challenging time that we're going through. And I think it's been going on for years and years, but the thing is, we didn't know these things were happening behind the scenes. And now that they're visible, it's just like, oh my goodness. It's just a very challenging time, and that's all I can. But anyway, we will get through it, and I don't want to say the people in charge, but the light has sped things up for us on purpose, so that we can just get through this quicker. Okay, so this is really a good thing. We have to go down this path. If we speed it up, then that's less time that we have to spend on this path. Okay. But the second thing I want to talk about is this Gregorian calendar. Now, I'm not going to get all my facts right, but it was implemented by Pope Gregory, and now I can't remember which one he was, 8 or something. But it was implemented by him basically so that people would pay taxes. But the Gregorian calendar, there's so many messed up things about it. None of the months are the same length. Like, there's just no consistency. Things are named wrong on purpose. Let's see, September, which should be number 7, is the 9th month. October, which should be number 8, is the 10th month. December, which should be number 10, is the 12th month. I mean, it's just completely random, and it's completely made to screw us up. And you just think about the banking system. Okay, so the banking statements, why don't they just come out and go from the first to the end of the month, and there's your statement? But no, banking has to go from weird dates, like either like the 23rd of the month to the next 23rd of the month, and then that doesn't even match up to like tax stuff. I mean, it's just, the whole system is just created to make work, so that we're running around shuffling papers, and so it's really a frustrating system that we're caught in. And then I think, sorry about the lighting here. I'll have to work on the lighting, but I wanted to get on and make a video because I'm having trouble like just making videos and stuff. But anyway, so AI and tech. AI and tech were created, well, who knows why they were created, but they're supposed to make our lives easier, or that's sort of the thing that we bought into, is that AI and tech makes our lives easier. But does it? I mean, it doesn't. Sometimes it's really frustrating, especially if you've gotten into a conversation with AI. You cannot win. Or let's say you get oh my goodness, you get locked out of your accounts, and that's it. You are locked out of your accounts. There's no human, and then it's a huge deal to try and get back in. And then you've got, oh, what else? Just it's just making things more complicated. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention two-factor authentication. If you don't have a phone, you are literally restricted and locked out from using multiple applications right now. And so that means you need a cell phone. And so, I mean, if you think of the nefarious purposes of that, they ping your cell phone and find out exactly where you are. Okay, it's supposedly for your security, but really every single time you log onto a website and then it pings your cell phone and you got to put in the code, let's be honest, they know where you are. I mean, it's so crazy. But I mean, so many of the tech stuff that I use right now, I have to do it. I mean, I want to use that program or whatever. But whenever I can not put it on, I do, because I don't like two-factor authentication. And the other thing that's going on is, I got new glasses. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to make a video about last month was we have hit the breaking point of society. Everything is breaking down. People cannot go this fast anymore. We're just all literally hanging on, and that makes life less enjoyable. You're not smelling the roses. You're not like, it just is like go, 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 go. And we can't do this anymore. People are, you'll have a stroke, or you'll fall down and hurt yourself, or you'll get into a car accident, or like these things will happen to say you need to slow down. You need to rethink your life. You cannot do this anymore. But it's not just happening on an individual level. It is happening on a societal level right now. So right now, with the first thing I said about we need to, time is sped up because we need to get through this time period, this challenging time, very quickly. But what the DF, which stands for Dark Forces, are doing is forcing us into focusing on survival issues. So with inflation, loan interest rates going up, gas, energy prices, food prices, like this, that, it's just literally every single day there's another thing thrown at you to trick you into going into survival mode. And I fall into that pit because one of the patterns and cycles that I have had trouble with is survival issues. Money, oh my goodness, money. So I just fall into these pits. But since I woke up in 2013, essentially, I mean, I've pretty much always been awake, but I was saved and put on the right path in 2013. So what you do when you wake up, hopefully, and you go through this thing called dark night of the soul, is you're forced to develop spiritual techniques, tools, skills, things that you can pull out to ground you, get you to breathe. So what I do, actually I had to do it last week because my energy bill came in, and I've also been following this lady called, I think her name is Kathleen Cameron, and she got me thinking about money. She's like, you get your energy bill in, and you don't value money, and so you don't want to pay it, and so you get more stressed out about the bill, and like it just perpetuates this negative cycle about bills. So I got the bill in, and I was literally having an anxiety attack, and I started tapping. I mean, a few years ago, I would say 2015, I met this group online Facebook, and we met at a local Starbucks, which is crazy, right? You meet people online, and they're in your city, and they're in your neighborhood. Okay, so anyway, they taught me how to tap, and I thought they were completely insane. And I was also embarrassed to do this tapping in the middle of Starbucks. I'm like, oh my God, people are watching us. Like, this is just terrible. But Margaret, I think her name is now Lynch, I think. She does like tapping for money and stuff like that. So I actually went to the library and got her book, did all of the exercises, did the extra videos, and learned how to tap for myself. So I had to do some tapping, and within, let's say, 2 minutes, I was fine. So this money pattern kind of popped up, could have taken me down for days and weeks, and I tapped and I was fine. So it's really weird. But just going back into, okay, now that I've kind of said, okay, time is speeding up because of these things, and I'll just recap them. So on purpose, because we need to get through this challenging time quickly. The Gregorian calendar, that is pretty much the accepted normal calendar that I would say the global calendar right now is actually designed to make our lives completely out of sync and just not make sense. So there's that. AI and tech is supposed to make things easy, but sometimes it's just making things worse. And making things harder, and making you jump through more hoops and this kind of thing. We've hit the breaking point in society, and maybe I'll do another video on that one. And then we're kind of on this little boat in this ocean of survival. So that's how I kind of feel. But there's so many more ways that we are actually going to be moving into, the golden age. And there's so many things that we have that are just coming out right now that are going to change our lives and change time. So maybe I'll just take some water and I will get on to the good stuff here. Okay, so I have been looking into this thing called the 13 moon calendar. And it is galactic time. So the numbers are cosmic. And it's really, I don't want to say complicated, but it is a lot to take in. But it is really, it's so cool. I mean, there's so many, like, if you like tarot cards and energies and moon cycles and all this stuff, like this is the way that we're going. But so the 13 moon calendar is really 13 moons. So instead of saying like months, you say moons. And they're 28 days and 7-day weeks. And they actually have different names for the days of the week, but different names for the weeks. I think it's Septat, and that makes sense because it's 7. Anyway, but the weeks are still 7 days. But the months are 28 days for 13 months. You can see how this is really consistent. Just like, okay. And it's more spiritually focused. So one of the things that I got into before that was the moon cycles. So at new moon time, it has a certain energy to it. The quarter moon has a certain energy. The half moon, which is the full moon, has a certain energy. The third quarter moon, and then back to new moon. I mean, so you can actually work with the energies to live your life better. I mean, instead of going against the energies and forcing yourself to do stuff, you're actually working with your environment, the universe, and just getting to know flow and stuff like that. But like with this 13 moon calendar and system, it's like a whole system. It's not even really called a calendar, but I think they just use that word because of the Gregorian calendar. So if you're gonna switch systems, you kind of need to highlight the similarities and where they can kind of mesh. And on the 13 moon calendar, it's really cool because you can still keep track of the Gregorian calendar dates. So you're not going to be lost. So that's really cool. So I'm going to be looking more into it. I think it was really brought out in the 90s, and I can't remember his name, but I'll find out more information. But if you go to lawoftime.org, I believe, and I'll put all this stuff in the description, or the 13moons.com. And again, check down below just to make sure I've got the right links. You can learn more about it. And actually, the 13 moon calendar is kind of based on the Mayan calendar. And I randomly picked up these Mayan oracle cards at a secondhand bookstore, and it goes into everything that's in this 13 moon calendar, which is where I learned about the law of time and started getting into it. And not only that, you can do readings for every single day, and you can do so it's kind of like astrology, and you can do a reading for your birth date that is really in depth. So there's so many places to go with that. But coming back to using the moon's energy for navigating right now, your world. So the moon's energy is amazing because it gets you focused on flow, rest, self-care, and breaks, which is something that as an Aquarius and an air sign, I have a hard time doing. And then using the moon's energy is telling you that your life can't just be about work. I am extremely work oriented, but that leaves my life empty on other levels. So it doesn't work. A life only about work doesn't work. Okay. And it also really gets your juices flowing about intuition, creation, and channeling, which I think all go together. So that is my little rant and ramble for this week about time and how it appears to be spinning out of control. Yeah, even this morning, even though I did my morning routine of yoga and like a meditation, 5-minute meditation, we're talking 15 minutes tops. I should have been good, but when I sat down at my desk, I was like completely overwhelmed by all the things I have to do, not knowing where to start, and just this feeling of I'm never gonna get it done. So it's just it's a very negative cycle. You don't want to sit down at your desk and get like that. So but all I did was I took a moment and I grounded, and I just had this thought. This is all in your head. Pick one task, work on that, and that's it. And just ignore everything else. If I get this one thing done, I will be so happy and back on track. So it's about really stopping and catching those, negative thoughts, patterns, cycles, energies, anxiety, stuff that comes up, and saying, nope, I'm not doing this today. Like, I am going to recenter, ground, and then just take it slow. Okay. So it doesn't mean not work. It doesn't mean run away from your desk and run away from your work and not do what you need to do. It's not about that. It's about managing it. And, you are the master. Your work isn't the master. So it's just about, I don't know. Yeah, just everything is fine. Everything is totally fine. Okay, so, I hope this helped you out a little bit. I want to, I guess, find my voice because I've kind of done intermittent. Interspertant is the new word that I have just coined. Intermittent videos, and I really want to do regular videos. So I will be working on my content creation calendar and really showing up every week and talking about an important issue that's going on with stuff right now. So, okay, thanks so much. Bye.